right, well, it's time for Grace's News, and it is brought to you by Toyota of Portsmouth, the house of value. I love my RAV4 XLE, and I love going to New Hampshire, to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. You can see my swag from one of the VIPs right now. It's a great place to go. It's much better than Massachusetts. I hate to say it, but it is true. So if you're in the market for a car, if you want to lease a car.
Why do you hate to say it? It's true. It is true.
I don't know, because I'm from here. You know, I have Massachusetts pride. I know you gave that up a long time ago. But if you want to go, you want to lease a car, you want to buy a car, Toyota of Portsmouth has a huge, sparkling clean showroom and an incredible staff. So they're located just south off the Portsmouth traffic circle off 95. Go to toyotaofportsmouth.com or visit them at the showroom and tell them Grace sent you. I'm very excited we have VIPs back in the studio.
Give yourselves a round of applause, guys.
It's so fun. And I'm not just saying that because they bring me swag. Something else, Howie, I wanted to bring up here before we go right into these Biden cuts, which I know that is what everyone wants to hear. I do want to get your take on the strange photo of Joe Biden and Dr. Jill posing with the Carters.
You know, I once had Rosalind Carter right in that chair. She visited the studio. Not this studio, but she visited my studio. And she was not the size of a puppet.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much she has shrunk over the years. She looks like one of those mummies, you know, that has shrunk up in the 2,000 years since she was embalmed.
But Howie, I don't think that's as much of the case. Sometimes,
either that or she's sitting in a giant chair.
That's what it is. It's like if I held on to a tiny coffee cup, I would look giant. But it's perspective. Everything in the room was tiny. The chairs were tiny. The tables were tiny. The paintings were tiny. The ceiling was low.
Yeah.
I'm just confused. And why didn't Joe Biden have a mask on? He wears a mask outside all the time, and then he goes to visit 95-year-olds, and that's when he feels like, I'm going to freewheel it. That doesn't make any sense.
Inside, by the way.
Inside. Doesn't make any sense.
All these questions, Grace, are going to be answered at vaccine.gum.
Thank God. I have been waiting for the .gum movement to come for us. All right, so let's get to these cuts. I want to play the light at the end of the tunnel. That one really, thank you. Okay, the mailroom manager is really coming through today. Do you see this? If I hold on, am I a giant? Or is the coffee cup just small? See what we're saying here? All right, so the cut I want to play, because I find it a wee bit concerning, is the light at the end of the tunnel cut.
Someone said, here's another, 781 says, if Biden said he would resign and give the presidency back to Trump, I would take the vaccine.
Oh, me too.
I would too. I mean, everybody. I think that way you could get a huge majority of the American people, I think, at this point would take the vaccine.
Yeah, if we got the real election results, I'd take the vaccine.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has a price, you know.
What did Governor Wolf say in Pennsylvania today? It's got to be 70%. I mean, what kind of thing? What is this? What is this thing? So if it's 69.8%, they're not going to open up the state. They're going to force you to keep wearing masks. What are they going to do? Start, going around with loudspeakers and through the neighbor? Come on out! Come on with your hands up and get the vaccine.
Show us your card. That's where the real market's going to come in now, is the fake vaccine card market. That's already heating up. All you need is a laminator.
Honest Howie's COVID cards coming to
That's right.
a website near you, vaccines.gum.
I looked at that thing and I said, man, boy, this is about the easiest thing to counterfeit I've ever seen.
Oh,
I'm not even an expert, but I have a Xerox machine.
I've heard from people who are experts, and they said it's real easy. Like, they don't have any stampage on that.
No
or
watermarks, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, and it's not it hasn't got the little hairs in the in the paper like the currency does.
Yeah, it's just cardstock.
You don't have to be like Catch Me If You Can to, remake that.
No special ink either. It's just black ink.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think people are going to start making these, because also, isn't it HIPAA? Like, people are going to start asking you when I go into stores, are you fully vaccinated? That seems a little bit.
Yeah, all this stuff seems to be HIPAA. I mean, there's so many, but all of this stuff is violations of the law. I mean, what about the open container laws in Massachusetts? It's against the law to have an open container, and now you can go to a restaurant and you can get a takeout order and an open container of booze.
I'm not complaining about that one, though.
No one's complaining about it, but I mean, there's got to be some consistency, doesn't there?
Okay, let's take these things one step at a time.
Grace, I'm so old, I can remember when you could have an open container.
I never understood that rule. I never understood it. All right, so let's play. This is Joe Biden talking about the light at the end of the tunnel, cut 49.
I'll conclude with this. The light at the end of the tunnel is actually growing brighter and brighter. So Americans have sacrificed and served to make this progress possible, showing the best of who we are as a people. We need you. We need you to bring it home.
Joe, go towards the light. It's your time.
I mean, it is a weird expression to use, the light at the end of the tunnel.
Do we have it when he talks about how we're going to slip the pediatricians? He's not going to give them the vaccines. He's going to slip it to He sounds like Hunter. That's how Hunter gets his vaccines. Somebody slips them to him in a men's room or something, or in a dark parking lot after closing hours.
All I think of is the episode of Seinfeld where George decides he's going to slip his boss a Mickey.
Americans have a vaccination site about as close as their house is near to a neighborhood school. We're also going to slip vaccines directly to pediatricians, ship them to pediatricians during.
I was going to say, seems like he meant to say ship.
How many times have you ever heard anyone mix up the word slip and ship?
Yeah. And sometimes, too, when he goes back and fixes things, I'm like, you might have been better off just, letting people think you meant the first time. You know what I mean? Yeah, he goes back. Like that time he said conferences, and then he went back and he fixed it because it really meant something else. And I'm like, sometimes you just got to keep going, just confidence.
People working on forms and on farms.
Yeah.
Remember, a ship of the lip could slink a slip.
By the way, Taylor, can we get a check on that? Is vaccine.gum, is that taken yet? Because that could be a nice little industry for us.
It returns nothing.
Howie. I think this could be something. Let's play one more before I leave you here. Let's do cut 36.
We know that adolescents are at risk from COVID-19. Though serious illness at that age range is rare, they can still get sick and spread the virus to others.
I didn't understand this part at all because he makes like 2 points. He says on one hand, they're not really at risk, and on the other hand, they are at risk. They should get the vaccine. I don't really get it.
He did that in a couple of different ways. He gets confused.
He contradicts
Getting
himself.
the vaccine isn't fun, but it is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you can pass it on, but you can't pass it on.
It's really, you understand why he had to have a speech about mixed messages. I don't know if the speech helped with that.
Well, it's such a discriminatory virus. It's very discriminating.
It definitely is. By the way, guys, if you go to howiecarrshow.com and click on the store, you can still get Grace's goodies. We have a lot of these Cape Lily soaps. They're awesome. They're especially great for Mother's Day. If your mom's a big fan of lavender or lemon, they have really great smelling soaps, and they're really good for your skin if you have sensitive skin.
By the way, Floramos is now sold out, but you can still go to Floramos where the meat falls off the bone.
I don't know why you want to find that sound so bad. I mean, you sound just like him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bill Maher.
Very fake news.
First Bill Marlowe passed on, and then his favorite place in the world passed on, Suffolk. He was at the $2 window.
Oh, very good.
All right, thank you, Grace. So they can still get Grace's goodies though.
Yes, Grace's goodies at howiecarrshow.com. Just click on store, and these soaps are awesome, and the packaging's really beautiful as well.
Okay, we'll take some calls. If anyone's been able to get onto vaccine.gum, please give us a call, and we want to hear from you and get some answers to these conflicting, confusing statements by Dementia Joe. With everything that moms do, they deserve a lifetime's worth of thanks and appreciation. So don't wait until Sunday to surprise her with a Mother's Day gift. Lock in your order and let her feel the love all week with an early bouquet from 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now at 1-800-Flowers, my listeners can get 2 dozen multicolored roses for just $29.99. I've seen these roses from 1-800-Flowers. We got one delivered to the studio in Florida last week. I'm sure it's still there. They last an amazingly long amount of time, unlike the wilted bouquets. And I'm being generous that you're going to be able to pick up on the weekend. You can't wait until the weekend if you want to keep mom happy, or your wife happy, or your aunt happy, or your grandma happy. You got to get the flowers from 1-800-Flowers.com.
I acted early this year. I got the best deal that they were offering, and I was very proud of myself because usually I'm waiting till Thursday to do something, order flowers, but I got them last week, and they're on their way.
This gorgeous bouquet of 2 dozen roses that are on their way to Taylor's wife. It's an assortment of bright colors that will have all the moms in your life talking about them and you to everyone, especially if you have them sent to the office, if they're still working in the office. My 1-800-Flowers bouquet is on its way to the mailroom manager. Who else would I send it to? I have to send it to her. 2 dozen multicolored roses for $29.99 is an amazing offer, especially this close to Mother's Day. But prices will be going up all week long, so order before Wednesday. Remember, Mother's Day is this Sunday, 5 days away, so take care of all your gifting needs right now before it's too late with 1-800-Flowers.com and before the prices go up even more. To order 2 dozen multicolored roses for $29.99, go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, and enter code Howie. That's 1-800-Flowers.com, code Howie. I'm Howie Carr.
The Howie Carr Show.